Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I want to talk today about our learning ecosystem for sustainable innovation. Now, for most of us, we know where we have to be in the next 10 years because we have our work cut out for us to solve the sustainable innovation goals. Now, who has been at COP? In the audience, maybe? No? If I can ask you something now, it's not about the next 10 years, but where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Is maybe something you would ask if you hire somebody, for example. Now, somebody like the CEO, if you ask the CEO of Deutsche Bank, Christian Sewing, he has his work cut out for him in the next 5 years. Actually, even less. One of the most important sentences I heard at COP26 in a side event was that the CEO of the Deutsche Bank said, he said, we will go all into the ESGs, and if we don't do this in the next 3 to 4 years, we would be out of business. And he said, let me repeat this, we would be out of business, billion-dollar company, the heart of the German AG, if they don't go all into the ESGs and help their clients to go also into this. So I think there's a tremendous not only opportunity, but there's a tremendous challenge because more companies have to report and have to learn about the challenges and the new paradigms in policymaking and solving the sustainable goals. I'm Harald Neidhardt, I'm the CEO of Futur, and we look at building this an ecosystem where learning and insights for sustainable innovation can take place. So we are a global learning platform to connect innovators and act to achieve the UN SDGs. The problems we see in the market is that corporates need to train and upskill their teams fast. New environmental policies and changes are happening at a rapid speed right now, and not as you see from the policy making and the public and COP, but rather in policy making and ESG. And the financial markets and the CFO might be the best friend in sustainability for the chief sustainability officers as well as the chief innovation officers, because we have to find solutions. And the market needs trained specialists for sustainability because they're in high demand, and universities don't educate enough and fast enough for these future jobs. So we see there's a solution and an opportunity for us to connect the sustainable innovation community to drive action and impact. Our platform is helping to train corporates, connect them to startups and ESG solutions with on-demand learning, community building, and matchmaking. We want to scale to build this community platform for innovation and execution, and we have already launched one of our products, which is a leader in sustainable innovation and execution program, where we have speakers from the UN, startups, corporates, investors, and NGOs to help work on these solutions. Why now? So I think there's a $1 trillion market for ESG and sustainable innovation. As we just heard, we heard at COP there's 130 trillion under management of investors going into this market. But what I found most remarkable is that the two big corporate, let's say, consulting companies, PwC and Deloitte, are starting to go massively in this. Deloitte said, okay, we're training all the 330,000 Deloitte employees in learning about climate change, so that's already a good start. But PwC, it's a fine print here, 12 billion euros are going into investments, and they want to hire more than 100,000 ESG specialists. 100,000. There are now 245,000 people at PwC, and they want to hire a third of their new people and have them specialized in ESG. And I don't know where they can come from, so there has to be a lot of upskilling only in this one company. And I think they don't do this because it's fun, because they think each of these persons can be also, let's say, market for 3,000 a day as a day rate. So there is a tremendous market, but it's also a tremendous opportunity. Most people leading a company right now will not know that they have to go into this ESG reporting. Almost 50,000 new companies in Europe have to start reporting in the next 2 or 3 years. And this is starting from somebody, if you have more than 250 people in a company, you have to start to now be no longer maybe be a bakery, which have maybe 20 shops in your city with a couple of employees. All of a sudden, you're the chief sustainable officer, no longer the baker, and have to take care of your water and report. once you have the reporting, you have to start thinking about innovation. You have to train your people as well as find solutions from startups or other suppliers. No company and no business model will be will be left without turning in this transition to this net zero economy. Now, obviously, we're also not only in the ESG market, we're also in education, which also got a big boost through COVID. So this is another $1 trillion market in education. And alone in Europe, there are more than 80 million people in some sort of corporate training enrolled. And the global market obviously is even bigger, especially also in the Southern Hemisphere. People are hungry for trainings. And we think there's a very attractive, attainable market of 10,000 learners in the next couple of years for us. So our solution right now is that we have two learning programs. One is a masterclass on moonshot thinking. Basically, how can you, build the mindset in order to drive innovation and look at the challenges that we have. And the challenges are described in our program, which we just launched at COP, which is a Leader in Sustainability program, which is available for 500 euros for the consumer. And then we go into customized programs for corporates. I'm very proud we put together a stellar people or faculty of speakers. There's more than 50 speakers from the UN, Climate Change Secretariat, from World Economic Forum, from World Food Programme, from ESA, from a lot of startups, and, for example, also the Earth Prize winner from Inapta on hydrogen. So you can see people and the drivers and leaders of today be inspired of what their work are doing, and then hopefully this drives the energy into your corporation and your organization or your startup in order to help drive this change. And this is sort of what we want to extend. And our goal for the next years is to build a platform where we now allow to our own courses give the access to faculty and other people who do drive their content on our platform to build this, let's say, market network and connection for as an ecosystem for lifelong learning. And we already built a couple of interesting partnerships over the last couple of years. We have just now working with, let's say, innovation locations which are inspiring and leading in Europe, like the camp in France or H-Farm. And for next year, we will also do a cooperation with NOAH University in Lisbon, together with the university building, help to build and extend our programming. We also are an advisor to the UN Climate Change Secretariat, actually helping them to build what is the program after the 2030s, a more futuristic role. And we're developing a partnership with one of the corporate partners mentioned, so to say, to scale this. We have a team of which is international and diverse. Right now we are remote in Hamburg, Berlin, Barcelona, London, and Indonesia. And we have a very select group of investors who come from the corporate world, from the university world, as well as from platforms place and from the technical background. But together with our academic advisory board and collaboration with universities, we hope to, let's say, set this up and scale this platform in the next couple of years. Now, our positioning is where if you have the traditional universities and you have people like Singularity, for example, looking very much into exponential technologies, which is interesting, which also inspires us, but we're looking more at how do we apply the understanding of exponential technologies into sustainable innovation. And we see obviously a lot of digital platforms for learning online, which is also inspiring, but we see there's a good opportunity in the sustainable innovation part, especially understanding in Europe for a chance because ESG is the driving topic here. Again, we have built some traction over the last couple of years with partnerships like SAP or Alpha, which was a moonshot lab in Europe, as well as a lot of people as we addressed chief digital officers, chief innovation officers in our physical events. Now we're building this community extended to an online learning platform, which we extend globally, and we already are running programs in Thailand, for example, with their Chamber of Commerce, and this is where we're taking these pilots into building this platform, and we're starting to raise a seed round in the first quarter to scale our tech and marketing platform to drive these initiatives. Thank you so much.